Hey, Jared. Oh. Hey, not an alien. I am very high and hungry too, Bung. What's up? Hey, thank Da. Welcome to the stream. What happened to my hair? Went there for the past couple of streams. I made it green. Since then, the ends have been sort of washed out, so now it's kind of a warmer green at the end, which is what I wanted ultimately. Are you sick? Yeah, yeah, it says in the title, I'm very sick. Vibe cult. Been doing alright, my friend. Aside from the sickness, I've actually been doing quite great. And I suppose I am doing great, but, you know, it's a lot harder to do great when you're in this weird state that vaguely makes you feel like you should be unhappy. It's very peculiar. I spend so much time trying to understand my compulsive thoughts and my emotions and all that jazz. That it's sort of difficult for me to realize just how to deal with being sick, because I don't get sick very often. And understanding these weird mechanisms, like, I just feel off right now, you know? Like, I could identify there's, like, pain in my chest, there's, like, I have a headache, there's a pressure in my sinuses, there's an irritation in my throat, I have weird mucus that I'm choking on all the time. But, like, beyond all that, I just don't feel right, you know? Just, it doesn't feel, I don't know how many people analyze that deeply when they're sick. But I certainly do. Salmon Punk, I'm going to just warn you once, that is a dude. That is my boyfriend. I'm just gonna warn you that one time, but if you are gonna be not cool about my warning, I'm gonna ban ya. Hey Lish, what's up? Welcome to stream. Hare Krishna. So you're a woman. Why does it have to be so simple like that? Why is it gotta be man or woman? These are just words. You think the universe started, you know, trillions of years ago, and they really gave a shit about the dumb noises that our meat sacks with literally tubes with nerves walking on a rock floating around a gas ball. The universe does not give a shit about gender conventions. You know, question everything. Not at the same time, that's to be too stressful, but question everything. Cute nails. Thank you, Pinka Pasta. Got the immune system of a god, or like a really strong turtle, so that's neat. I thought I did too. Every time I get a cold, I feel like dying. Yeah, what's up with that, right? It's like I'm confusing the symptoms of my sickness with, like, depression. And maybe they're not mutually exclusive. Maybe these things are more connected than we thought, you know? Like, people who have depression are more likely to not take care of themselves in terms of their health or hygiene or whatever, you know? So I think there's probably a connection with the two. Well, it's gonna get real depressing in like 1 hour. Why is that? I hope nothing's too serious. Thank you, little Indio. Not the universe explanation whilst high. There'll be some of that. Doesn't care, you're absolutely right. Are they productive things used here in our meat existence? They are productive if you're trying to play a particular game, definitely. And I think people who are attached to this game of man, woman, nuclear family, are only really attached to it because that's what we've been doing for a while. But that's not a good enough excuse to be doing it, I think, in my opinion. I think being open to the chaos of exploring new ideas is only positive, you know? It can cause some tension, get scary, get intense, but those aren't inherently bad things. What is bad is pretending that everything is fine when there are loads of people around you who are suffering. That's how you stagnate people into extinction, you know? So, the way that I dress and the way that I look, for example, I've been getting a lot more attention than I used to from strangers. And some of it's good, some of it's bad, but like I would rather have that than when I was limiting myself, you know? Because I end up learning more because I'm experiencing more. And it's within my own level, my own pace of how much I want to become myself, if that's one way to put it. The epileptic vibe zone. I hope nothing in here is epileptic. I don't think so. These are pretty smooth gifts. Hello, Serenity. Welcome to stream. Oh, Templar Haywood, why are you suffering? I think my D&D pals bailed on another session for like the 3rd week in a row. I think it's finally time to panic a little. Oh, well, I don't know. I would just suggest messaging them. Asking if, you know, let's be real, let's level with each other right now. Is this going to keep happening? You know? Just like snap out of that game of like, oh sorry, we can't make it anymore. Oh, it's okay, no worries, you just make it whenever you can. Snap out of that game for a second. You know? What type of high THC, LSD, DMT? DMT on stream, could you imagine? No, it's just a whole bunch of edibles. And I'm already a bit high, but in about 30 minutes or so, they should be kicking in some more. I'm in China. I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Wacky. I'm just kidding. How are you vibing? You enjoying China? I don't know, you just said I'm in China, so it feels like it's pretty significant to you. Good morning, Bong. Hope you're feeling good. Thank you, C. Tyler Conrad. I'm feeling good. I'm sick, but I'm still feeling good, actually. I mean, it probably helps that I'm not sober, but who could blame me at this point? High on swag juice? It's so true. It's so goddamn true. You know, I could tell I'm high because I'm not reading up and down the chat like I do when I'm sober. Because I just sort of... And then I could... For me, I'm like, it's literally one at a time. power froze here in Texas, almost freezing in the house. Trying to keep the dogs warm. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hugh Janice. Wait, oh, God, I wish I didn't read your name. Because if that's true, oh, that would make it worse if it was true. Your art reminds me a lot of 60s and 70s aesthetics for some reason. Are you a fan of art and aesthetics from that time? Not consciously, but I suppose that would make sense. A lot of art that I like are from people who either were from the hippie era and funk era, or were greatly inspired by it. Something that must have just been inspired by the explosion of LSD and weed and one love, you know. It's I mean, it's kind of life-changing if you've been stuck in a rigid you know, sort of geometric life for so long, and then suddenly you put a funny piece of paper on your mouth and you see the world as this pulsating, flowing, fluctuating thing. Corona? You're probably asking if I'm sick with Corona. I don't know. I took a test this morning and they said they'll get back to me in 48 hours or less. I hope not Corona. That would stink. Listening to you rambling on is relaxing. I'm glad. That's very specifically why I wanted to join stream. And while I was setting up stream, I decided I want to put on makeup. This is the first time I don't think it's the first time, but this is definitely one of the first times I tried putting on eyeliner, and I was so fucking high. But yeah. What the fuck? Denmark isn't even real. Don't say that. He took too many Flintstone gummy medicines. You're right. Bung audio real quiet for anyone else. Is it? Maybe the music's just too loud. Okay. Oh, hopefully this evens it out. Can you show off your nails? You'll be looking fab. Thank you. Yeah, they're just sort of like the green, sparkly kind. Like, I wasn't raised with makeup. It wasn't a thing that I was expected to wear because my parents are very traditional. Wanted me to be a dude. So I'm literally just picking out makeup in the same way that I pick out just art supplies when I'm on a fucking episode of just trying to be super creative, super silly, super this'll look fun. Sparkly green with your hair. Streaming on a Wednesday? I was not ready for this. Yeah, I'm going off the rails, dude. Eyeliner gang, yeah. And we'll confinement episode 9. Off to confinement episode 8, and episode 8's not out yet. Bro, lol, he smoked his own nose hairs. What? That'd be crazy. Could you imagine if you did get high from smoking your nose hairs? They're in your nose the whole time, like, that's insane. Could have gotten high at any point, just accidentally burning your nose hairs. Can you show us your earlobe? Here it is. I'm stretching it out. Look, I'm like a Buddha. I'm like a fucking... Bung, it's late, go to bed. It's only 9:30 p.m. It's not very late at all. LSD. I might do an LSD stream one day, but not today. You hit 1 million. Yeah, I know. It's really cool. Is your favorite color green, perhaps? Right now, it is just sort of the color that I'm centering my fashion sense around. Up until I get a new hair color, and then center my fashion around that instead. But it's not super. It's not as limiting as I was worried. I was worried that it would be. I have bought some green outfits now, but you know, green is just kind of a nice color that I think brings life to anything. You know, like I joke about being a tree now, because I'm just a big walking tree man. Somebody drew Ireland as part of Britain on the History Channel, including the Republic. Actually shaking and crying right now. Ah, shit. My god. The lunacy that occurs. It is a very sensitive subject. I remember one of my old friends made an animation where they did exactly that. And oh my god, people were upset. Squeeze bung out and drink that psychedelic juice. Hell yeah. Oh, sorry, Matt. Agreed, I am not real. Danish people aren't real. Danish people have never been real. And I think the fact that any of us believed in it at some point, it's quite embarrassing. I'll be the first to admit that I was fooled by the Dane trend. I don't know. It was just a country named after the big dog, you know? My mom used to call my big bro Baby Buddha when he was a baby because he was chill and chunky. He was chill and chunky, yeah? How many geese can you beat in a fight? None. They would take my ass. They would drag me into the river that they came from. And they would laugh like human beings as I drowned. I might be able to like... No, I can't even imagine punching one because for some reason, when I'm picturing it in my head, me punching a goose, that their chest is made of like steel. How can I beat a goose in real life if I can't even imagine beating a goose? That's my point. Why am I watching this? We're literally taking a huge test today and I find it more worth it to vibe. Well, ask yourself this. Is this a compulsion you're feeling to combat the stress from this test? Or is it more a case of, this test really isn't that important. I'm making a bigger deal out of it, and I quit. You know, that's up to you to find out. But you know, you get some real good epiphanies when you're in a tough situation. I thought you died. I did die for a bit, and then I came back, and then I suddenly became healthy because of my experience. And then now I'm still working on confinement. It's just that when I was in a bad situation, when I was unhealthy, I wrote it out in such a way, and I did enough of it that now I can't really go back and start again without defeating the point of trying to get a video out sooner. So unhealthy me has given healthy me this big old task to complete. But that's fine. I'm not so stressed out anymore about doing it, and I've been doing it more consistently than when I was stressed out about it back when I was unhealthy. And I know it's not very helpful to be reducing parts of my life as like when I was healthy versus unhealthy. There's, you know, obvious irony here is that I'm physically sick, but back when I was more self-destructive, I guess you could say. When I was more self-destructive, I would overthink my work, and every time I would work on a single frame or a scene or a model for a character, I would be thinking about the end result and how far away I was from it every single time. Every minute of it was just, and the few times where I did good without stressing out is when I wasn't thinking at all. And so now that I'm a lot less self-destructive, I've been able to turn off my mind, or at least distract it in a more simple way, so that I don't get lost in self-destructive thought. I don't remember what started this conversation, but you'll forgive me, I'm not sober, and y'all aren't here for a coherent time. Is bung a fruit or a vegetable? Oh, I'm a fruit, definitely. Bung, if you do an LSD stream, take half personal experience, don't want you dying, bad tripping. Yeah, no, I would, if I were to do an LSD stream, it'll be more like, it'll be more like, I've already started the trip a few hours early, and once I get over the initial wave, that, the build up, the scary part, then I'll probably just be like, yeah, alright, it's stream time. How could you both high and sick? How could you both high and sick? How could I both high and sick? Much to think about. Hey, I know my boyfriend sometimes watches these streams. He's asleep right now, but I know he sometimes watches these streams after. So I just want to tell him that, hey, Orion, I love you. And if you're listening to this stream, I hope you're having a really good day. Okay, so I just wanted to. But on a scale of vibing on the couch of the entire Netherlands, how high are you right now? I'm telling you, I am a lot less high than when I started the stream. It looks like the edibles that I had are making the room a bit more rounded. What kind of fruit are you? I don't know, fucking pineapple or something. Look at this. I'm not one for drugs. No shame either way. I'm not going to shame anyone who doesn't do drugs. I will shame people who try to shame people for doing drugs. Speaking of Orion, hand him and his Vriska standing over. Thanks. Nothing. I'm not stopping you from doing whatever. You go chat his little ear off and become swaggerinos and goofy goobers. Where's little boy Alfred? I'll go get him. I'll go get my boy. Here he is. Whoa. Hey everyone. Oh hey Unifrog, thanks for the $5. I saved a bird today. It was a native minor bird trapped under a drain grate. Its buddy was chirping and hanging out over it. Wow. You're a hero. You're a goddamn hero. Little baby. Alright. Yes, kitty time. Goofy Guru Pals. Hey, Taze. Welcome to stream. Pass us the booth bong we want to get high to. You're gonna have to eat my my delicious garlic honey soy teriyaki edibles. I ain't trying to smoke too much during this sickness because the sensitivity in my throat is not epic. Little boy Alfred. Sometimes I feel like the only queer person that prefers dogs over cats. Well, personally I prefer dogs, but I don't prefer them enough to have gotten a dog. So this is actually my brother's cat. He owns the paperwork or whatever, but we basically co-own the cat. Oh hey, happy early birthday, Soviet Union. I hope you don't do anything silly. Hope you don't get white girl wasted and send people to the gulag. Have the NKVD do some... I'm gonna listen to some Suicide Boys and smoke some weeds. Love the animations, I understand how much goes work into them. Have a great day. Hey Adrian Brock, you have an amazing time. That sounds like a vibe. Alright, see you, Jack Anderson. The cat is food, eat it for sustenance. Unsubscription? Hold on, I need to screenshot it. Everything about this, every goddamn thing about this comment. Unsubscription. Holy shit. That's fucking amazing. Hold up. Unsubscription. Sorry, just sharing that with everyone. A fun little treat for everybody. You can make most foods inedible. Yeah, that's the crazy thing for me. But like, the flavor of it has to not clash too much, you know? This paperwork for a cat? Yeah, apparently. So you just pick him off the street. Well, my brother didn't want to pick him off the street. I don't see a lot of stray cats in my town anyway. It's not like Greece where it's just sort of everywhere. See ya, Templar Haywood. Do you still read SCP articles? I haven't recently, because I've already basically had this idea for which SCPs I was going to use for the season. And everything else would just be sort of creative liberties and, you know, just having fun. If you're not having fun doing this, what's the point? What are you high on? Just mostly weed. Alright, Sia Rajka OP420. Local idiot reporting for duty. At ease, soldier. We are simply vibing. Lobster edible, lobster edible. Fucking lobber. People much have eat all of them, stray cat. What? People much have eat all of them, stray cat? Use Shy Guy this season, please. They might make a cameo, but the story is not around them. I'm using the SCPs as a vehicle to tell the story that I want to tell, but also as something to help create the ideas in the first place. Like I read SCPs that I liked, they inspired stories, and to the point where it created one big story that I'm animating into 10 episodes. Hey Lish, making webcomic. Where you gonna put it up? On I forgot that webcomic website name. This is Awkward Turtle. Bong, you should try mint and cold water. Oh, like when you eat a mint and drink cold water and it's like... Yeah. I don't know, it's good. It's really good. I just joined and my man Bung looks like Jacksepticeye and the Joker had a love child. That's right, that's why I'm wearing the purple shirt, specifically to highlight it. Am I allowed to scream in chat? You can, but if you scream all the time, you're gonna lose the impact of whatever it is you're talking about. Personal thoughts on consuming concrete. It looks hard. That's all I have to fucking say, dude. The Pepsi subliminal marketing, I knew it. Yeah, so the new cat that's coming to my house, his name is Pepsi. I didn't name him. My brother was just like, this is the new cat. My brother's also addicted to Pepsi. Well, I wouldn't say I'm addicted to Pepsi anymore. Well, I do really like it. But I try not to have too much of it. I try to go like... I try to make sure I'm not having it every day. Because that sucks. I remember when you broke your arm. I don't think I ever broke my arm. I love your animated SCP series. Came to say that. Bye-bye. Hey, thank you, Patchy Fish 1. I appreciate that. This place seems pretty chill. Thank you. Yeah. That's some... Oh. That's some artwork I did. The big one. The way on the left. On the right. I don't know. It looks hard. Burst out laughing. I was embarrassed. I didn't have anything else to say. No, I'm frozen now. That happens a lot. I freeze instead of fight or flight. It's just freeze for me. And apparently this is a thing that's becoming more noticed in the psychoanalysis community. And they're trying to update it to be more like fight, flight, or freeze, which is perfect because, you know, 3 Fs. But that also made me smile a bit. It's like, oh, okay, well, at least I don't have some rare freezing disorder that, you know, nobody's ever going to be able to help me with. Bound forever to Pepsi marketing, you'll never escape. Yeah, I'm branded. It'll be a while because I've only started, but I'm excited. Cute romance of burnt out college students and the ghost haunting a shitty apartment. He starts by like helping her find her misplaced stuff. Oh my god. And just generally helping out, and then they realize she can see him and cure romance ensues. Oh, that's cute as fuck. It's cute as shit. Wow. I'm excited. I'm excited. You should send it to me when when you're done. Mexican food. Oh yeah, it was my ass. I broke my ass. I broke my coccyx at the base of my spine. I fell down a flight of stairs and just landed right on it. And I felt like my spine sort of just like I don't know, tensed up into like one big bone instead of the flexible bone, because my entire body was tensing up. It was such pain. It's terrible. But it's over now. Fusion plays, sorry, there is not. I have never been very, very good at business and organization. So, I won't be able to tell you, but I can tell you that I still work at least 4 hours a day. A little bit less now that I'm sick, because everything sucks now. But the episodes are still going to be made, and they'll be out when they're out. Give us a date on that face reveal. Come on. As I saw the title, I just had to click. Hey, Felix Gaming, welcome. Do you wipe standing up or sitting down? That was definitely a question with the all caps. My god. I wipe while running. I don't know. I'm no longer attached to the sweet cola tit of Pepsi. I escaped from the thorn crown of soft drink addiction. Champion. Yeah. I still really like Pepsi. And it's like, but it's a thing where the alarm that rings in my head that says I've been having too much, that's gotten louder now. And so I don't feel like I'm a slave to it anymore, you know. I think being emotional over romance is bad. What? What kind of boring person are you? No offense, Dead Fish King. Sounds like a really just, man, I can't imagine that. I'm a very emotional person, so, you know, me being able to navigate it and learn to funnel it in the way that I do, experience it the way that I do, I don't know, it just feels so good. Sucks that you're sick. Hopefully you can get some cough medicine. Thank you, Elite Buster, for the $5. Good ass mod right there. What was I saying? Oh, I do have cough medicine. Yeah, it's all good. Like, I should check when the last time I had it. 8 p.m. Okay, now. I'm not gonna lie, this just sick. No, I'm high as well. What you talking about? Pepsi Man. Bung isn't showing his face right now, he's just drawing really fast. Is space an aspect of the world beyond objects, an aspect of the objects, or a type of being which is not an object nor directly an aspect of existence? It's all of those things, and neither of those things. And none of those things, I should say. What is the difference between anything? You know, they're all just ideas created in our head. What we know is that there is, what we know is that we can experience solid, liquid, gaseous things regularly enough in a way that we can determine is real or a thing. And we can also acknowledge that there is this thing called space, which is the lack of a thing, which we can't exactly encapsulate in our mind, but we understand must exist so that things can exist. All I'm hearing is that these things are hopelessly connected. They are inseparable, you know. Space and objects are inseparable. You cannot have an object without space. You cannot have space without object. And so they are the same thing. They're just two ends. They're just the two ends of the spectrum. Thingness and nothingness. They can only exist on the same spectrum, because you can't tell that things are real if you don't have somewhat of a familiar understanding of nothing. You know, you can comprehend it. It might be difficult to imagine you not existing. But you were able to tell that when you move a chair, the chair is no longer in the place that it was at. There's essentially nothing there. Nothing is kind of relative depending on what you're talking about. So, you know, when I say, oh, there was nothing in the fridge, there's loads in the fridge. There's nothing that I wanted in the fridge. Or like, there was nothing in your performance or something. It's all completely relative to what you're trying to talk about. So we have a good understanding of what nothing means, but we don't think about the fact that nothingness can only exist against the backdrop of thingness, or I should say thingness is against the backdrop of nothingness. Bung, watch Jojo or I'll steal your man. I'm not sure you'll steal my man. Are you gonna play on the Minecraft server? We've changed it up a bit. Oh shit. I need to update myself on that. I've been boo-hooing a lot because of bad throat. I'm building a desk right now and the tool broke. Oh, fuck, man. I'm so sorry, Detailed. Thank you for the $3. I'm sorry that you felt in such a way that you needed to give money to make up for the broken tool. Man, if I were a tool man, I would give you that tool right away. I'll go do a uni tomorrow. You gonna be streaming? Got the uni tomorrow. You gonna be streaming? Streaming? On Thursday? Probably. Probably. Yeah. Oh, what's that, Lish? You giving good advice to people? Hell yeah. That's what I like to see. Jeez, that cough made me jump. I'm so sorry. It would be more chill if I wasn't sick, but I did warn everyone with the title. How to catch a cold through the internet. Hey Bung, you got the Rona? I don't know. I'll find out soon. Until then, I'm just gonna have a fun little time. You know? Bung Chronicles ever be back? I'm sorry. Bung Chronicles is dead. 6 feet under. Getting cold. Yeah, maybe I might change my mind. I don't know. But right now, they're dead. Oh, fair enough, Detailed. I always give good advice but never follow it myself. I feel that. I've been making it my mission since I've been less self-destructive to retain the advice that I give other people and remember to apply it to myself. It's been real good. It's been real confronting, but that's much healthier than it just feeling good, you know, for the sake of feeling good. Like, sometimes you need to learn some terrible things about yourself before you actually improve. Because you have to realize that, you know, to improve, you must accept that you are complicit in some of the things that you don't like about yourself. And you have to really confront that part. It's like, whoa. But, and another weird thing is that it's quite discouraging in a way, because when you're trying to improve yourself, you have to realize the things about yourself you don't like, and it makes you feel like a bad person. You feel like you're getting worse, but you're actually getting better because you're realizing it, you know? Bung, you know what? I think helicopters should still have ejection seats. Like, sure, you're gonna get shredded by the blades, but that's not gonna be your problem anymore. That's right. I can't disagree. Hey, Bung, did you miss it when coughs didn't sound like gunshots? It's literally just a few days ago I was healthy. Just like 3 days ago. I was physically not coughing. It's not a terrible thing, but it's hard to be happy, and I like being happy. You know? I'm gonna lay back down now and die internally with my demons. If that's what you need to do right now, then that's what you need to do. Dude, this stream is totally up, dog. What's the... Oh. Got him. I got his ass. I got his ass. Do you think it would be ethical to allow someone else to know your entire life experience, or just take it without acting upon it, or the person even knowing? Here's the thing, I don't think that the brain has the capacity to experience someone's entire other experience. It's only evolved to experience one particular extremely detailed timeline of experiences that we call life. I don't know if you can do that without, like, if you're talking about ethically, I think you would kill the person who is taking into the other memory. I know this isn't your question. I just wanna think about that first. But do you think it is ethical? Not really. I think privacy, well, with the way that I am right now, I still value privacy quite a lot, and so of course I'm gonna have to project that onto this question. So I would say no, personally. I think, one, it's not ethical. Two, I think it's also cheating. I think if you want to get to know somebody, you do kind of have to earn that through trust, and whatever they choose to tell you isn't going to be closer to objective than whatever you see in their memories, because memories aren't exactly bulletproof, you know. They're interpreted differently. I should know, I've been unlocking some memories recently to do with some childhood, you know, garbage. And it was very interesting. It's very upsetting, but it was very interesting. It was a different experience, and I really like experiencing different things in these ways. I'm a very scared person. I'm quite timid sometimes, but I like exploring the mind, because the mind was the only thing that was stopping me from living a life that felt fulfilled. And once I realized that I was able to change that, then it's all I want to do now is just sort of live, you know. Please continue with confinement. I am continuing with confinement. I'm allowed to stream at the same time. You know, I'm allowed to stream at some point in the day and then work on confinement at a different point in the day. I'm not going to be doing it non-stop. I can't do that. No one can. Have you tried Infokit or any other modern AI narrative generator? Oh, thank you, Unifrog, for the $5. Infokit. No, I've never heard of that. Bung, have you ever thought about how if we got more cheese with the holes, we actually get less cheese because of them? Much to think about. Do you have an Amazon account that we all can purchase you something? I've been watching a long time and wanting to get you a high butt something you need. I don't, but my boyfriend does. If one of y'all do that, I would be happy. Of course, I understand if you wanted to get me specifically something, but I don't really want anything. Except to not be sick, but that's something I'm gonna have to just accept for a bit. So in the description to this video, there are a bunch of links, and at the very top is Orion's link tree. And in that link tree, you'll see an Amazon wish list, and that's where you can get him stuff. Hey Taze, hope you're enjoying that cereal. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, fuck yeah. I like Bung's laugh animation. My laugh animation? What do you mean my laugh? The movements that I make when I laugh? Didn't think I had one. I really be up at 4:30 a.m. Holy shit, dude. As long as you chose to. Who's your favorite / currently most interested in YouTuber? Right now I've been watching a lot of Pretty Much It. They're the guys that do like the movie commentary, like they just talk over the movies. But I really enjoy them. I think they're really funny. Who's the person in the pic below? That's my boyfriend. He's so cute. I have him on stream because it helps me smile sometimes. Hold up. I want to do something cool. Whoa, that's actually fucked up. I don't want to do that. Is it showing on stream? What's happening? Okay. Never mind. Yo. Hold on, let me play around with these filters a bit. Yes, actually, yeah. Yep, this is it. This is it now. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh. This is the coolest shit. This is next level. I can't fucking believe this. Look at my goddamn hair. If I may if I may ask, why does your boyfriend have a maid outfit and thigh-high fish stockings on his Amazon? Because he's fucking based as fuck. Episode 8 is rotting bung from the inside out. I'm so sorry. No, I'm just really high. Unless this sickness is rotting my brain as well. It probably also is. Who knows? I looked away for a second and now you're blue. Blue man group be like. Psychedelic load bond. That's right. This is really fun. If I keep doing this, I'm gonna end up like confusing my brain into thinking this is how I look. I did not subscribe to you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You're missing out on some some great shit. Looking like a smurf. Hey Luna. How's you? I'm doing good. I just figured out I can change my crazy little colors on this funny little device. Let me see what other filters, what other colors I can do. Whoa. I got a little funny Thanos. Yeah, so far I like this the most. There we go. Did it. You did it. Bisexual hair. Oh shit, you're right. It is the bi hair. That's incredible. Looked like I was designed by like a Guardians of the Galaxy crew. Aren't you afraid of getting a bad trip and accidentally contacting out a god like Nyarlathotep or Yog-Sothoth? Not really. I haven't had a bad trip on marijuana before. That's not really that strong. And I'm not on a psychedelic right now, so I don't have any worry about the disassociation effect. And if I do on stream, I know how to swim in it. I know how to swim in that space of total disassociation. It's not that hard. not to brag. Well, no isn't the right word. I'm familiar with it, so it's not really gonna be a big deal. Yo, these edibles ain't shit, and then blue boy. Alright, but I need help sleep because I have school. Just finished the project and I'm dead. Good night. Alright, good night, pancake. Good night, pancake. You sleep well. Nice and tight. Hey, you haven't been here for a while. How have you been? You don't have COVID, do you? Oh, I sure hope not. That would be stinky. Bunk Chronicles just kind of ended. I love your content, especially the confinement episodes. Thank you, No Data. I appreciate that. Looked like you ate like a Willy Wonka's prototype gum. You're right. You're right. Hey, Diddy. What's up? What's been happening? Do drugs. Oh, I already did that. Danny, your mic is quiet. Is it? It says here it's good. Are you vibing, son? Yes, I am. Simply. My throat's actually kind of annoying me. I can't. It's so much harder, you know. Just 3 days ago, I'm able to even do this on stream, just like. And now I can't. It's so hard to meditate because I feel like I'm gonna cough all the time. I think it's important to acknowledge when it sucks, it sucks. It just sucks. Danny, why are you such a precious being? Oh, stop. Stop it. It's not perfect. There is a trade-off with being as Avatar 2009 looking ass. Hey, no worry, Lish, you kept having that soup. You keep having that little soup. And I'll have... I forgot what I was talking about. You look like you need some vitamins. Bung, was it edibles or smoke? It was edibles. I'm trying not to smoke so much because that hurts my throat now because I am sick. Get well, Bung. Thank you, Mitchy Keys. Bung 3 days in Smurf Village. Alright. I'm gonna try and make my throat not so stinky. I hope I didn't ruin the... No, that's fine. Hey man, love your stuff. Fun to see you live. Thank you, Henrik Satsas. Man talks about how he's able to breathe air by breathing air. Because you have to breathe air when you're meditating anyway, because you have to breathe to not be dead. So now just every single breath I take is like, oh no, here we go. True that, acceptance is key. The question is, what do you do from that? What do I do from that? I'm not sure how ready I am to truly accept this pain. Because there's an attitude towards sickness that it must be fixed. Like it has to be fixed. And I guess I just take that too seriously when I'm in the pain that I feel like I can be doing something about, even though objectively it does take a while. Is meditation just controlled disassociation? Basically. Like, right now, most of us, myself included, rely on this great mech suit of thoughts. You know, auditioning for Trolls 3, I see. And we don't realize it, you know, when we look out into the world. We don't really think about it much, but we're actually thinking a lot. You know, we look at things and then we think about all of the various contexts in which that can be related to us. So, you know, we look at stairs and all of the thoughts about stairs based on our relationship with them come up, and that ends up controlling the way that we move down them, even on a subconscious level. Look at your room, look at your house, look at all these things that have so many, that just drive your mind crazy with thoughts and memories, because we use thought quite a lot. And what happens when you can't use it? Do you cease to exist? No, you just completely disassociate, because you you don't have any association, because association is also just an idea. You know, you simply are in this pool where you're unable to think. And if that scares you, then you're gonna have a bad time. But if you accept it, you actually end up reaching this level of peace and relaxation that changes people's lives. Although I'm not gonna sit around here and talk about it as if it's some sort of wholly amazing thing. For some people it is, but on the other hand, it is just your brain shutting down to like a dangerously close to death degree. It's not special. It's not a special experience. What I learned from that experience is that nothing and everything is special. So, well, or rather, because nothing is special, everything is special. So, that's what I like to talk about. And I end up sounding like a big old hippie. A lot, you know, live, laugh, love. But these are things that I really try to get across that I genuinely do believe in. And I don't know. A part of me wants to tell people. A part of me really wants to tell people because I used to be really depressed. You know, I used to be really, really self-destructive. And I really felt like that couldn't change. We're all just figments of our own imagination. Exactly. If you can't think, then you're simply brain dead. Well, then I came back from being brain dead. And I learnt quite a few things. Danny, if you could be one fish, what would it be, and why is the answer a shark? I think I'd be a sunfish, actually. Digital says, diarrhea is good. Thank you, Digital. Alright, caller, you're on the air. Diarrhea is good. For real, you look like a gay generic stereotype. Blue? Blue skin? Gay generic stereotype. Blue skin, huh? Why has this been delayed for 1 year anyways? Well, it's actually quite linked to my old terrible lifestyle I had when I was very depressed. I was very self-destructive, and because I overthought all of my work, I ended up doing work less because I didn't want to have to deal with the self-imposed pressure I was giving myself. And so I was being very, very silly and hurting myself a lot. But that was a phase that I suppose I had to go through, you know. Because now it sort of stands as a big testament as to or a big symbol of what I'm not trying to relive. I've already lived this lifestyle of to the point where I romanticized it. The lifestyle of like this sort of abused, hurt soul that was you know, doing drugs just to get by and to avoid confronting real problems. Oh, look at me, I'm such a, you know, that I romanticized it. That's how deeply unhealthy I was, is that I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool to hurt myself. So, yeah, when I had that big disassociation moment, I realized that this was just a character I made and I don't actually have to live that way. And it became really easy because I had to learn to accept my fear of dying during that moment. Which was hard, but it was really simple. Yeah, it's tricky. how's quarantine been treating you lately? Never asked and want to make sure you still have your crown on, Chief. Thank you, Hermit the Frog. Quarantine hasn't been bothering me, because my state is actually quite COVID-free. Hopefully I do not have COVID right now, but I am sick, and I did get a test done, so I'm still waiting on that. Yo, Bong, if episode 8 is very weird, I'm gonna comment, our Lord is back and he's higher than ever. Well, that is a very likely possibility. Every second is agony, Snow Golem. You have placed me in a permanent state of purgatory. Snow Golem? Oh, I'm sorry to hear about this strange adventure you're going. It doesn't sound like it's going well. Hope you get out of purgatory. Unless you like it there. The Dante's Inferno Purgatory seemed to be the least terrible place in that entire poem. So, I don't blame you. Bonkers. Won't being high get you demonetized? Not really. You get demonetized if you ingest them on stream. So if I were to smoke on stream, then yeah, I would get in trouble. I'll change the colors back. Whoa, red man. There we go. Mom got her first vaccine for it on Monday. Sister got a second dose of it because she works in care homes. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Can I make Pride fan art of Trans Connor? Yeah, sure. I would prefer it personally if we weren't very specific on which flag to use. So I mean, you do whatever you want. You use whichever flag you want. But I do see some people sort of projecting, particular flags over others. So like, I don't know. Maybe I just want to be giving hints here. I don't know. Okay, Blue Smurf only fans win. Hope they open up who can get vaccinated soon. I miss the beach. Oh, beach is good. Am I good to ask a question? Yeah, of course. Well, you just did, but you can ask another one. Carrot time. I'm sorry to hear that, Felix Gaming. You're literally an Oompa Loompa now. Good. Oompa Loompa. Honestly, I'm really wondering at this point if quarantine is ever going to end, and sometimes the thought worries me. Sometimes, how do you all help ease yourself off of it. Well, I understand the fear. I personally would like to go and fly over to America to see my boyfriend ASAP. I'm gonna go back to being blue-skinned for this one. So I really do get the fear. But worrying about it isn't actually going to make it faster. I know this is such a dad thing to say. How do I see this? Alright, let the fear come in. You know what you can convert it into? You can always reinterpret your fear for your love of other things. You know, that's, you know, it's sort of like on the other end of the scale from one interpretation of love can be fear. So, like, when I get impatient about the border control and I think, well, what if this is really the new normal and it's never changing, and I don't get to see my boyfriend? I mean, all that really tells me is that I love my boyfriend, you know? Or like, if you can't go to the cinema, it tells you that you really like going to the cinema. Just dwell on that for a moment, and then let go of that. It's easier to let go of a softer thought and emotion than it is a more intense one. So you just alchemize the thought process. This is what a lot of Western esoteric writers do, is they teach you how to alchemize your mind. And it's not exactly distracting you from what you're thinking about or feeling. It's more to do with acknowledging that how the system of your emotions and thoughts work. So you explore like, oh, why do I feel so terrible about this breakup? And then if you dig a little deeper, you realize that it's because you really loved the person, what you were experiencing was true love, and that by itself is an incredibly valuable and amazing thing, even if it is over. And so when you come to that realization and you just let go, it's easier to let go. At least that's what I found, in my personal opinion. You can always alchemize a thought, and it can help change your emotions. It's just a bunch of sensations going off in your body. It's not, you don't have to take them seriously. And if you just pay attention to them for a little bit, you end up finding out how they work, how you specifically work. The very specific pattern program that you've developed throughout this chain of memories that we call our life is very specifically unique to you. And if you pay attention to it, you're able to figure out how to navigate these strange physiological nerve sensations that we call feelings. Have you ever heard of Dayglow? Just a musician. I think their songs maybe kind of might be your type, you know? Dayglow? I have not heard of them. What kind of music they do? I'll Google them. Oh, they have some fun looking music videos. Yeah, I might take a look at them. Thank you for that. Understanding how you feel. Can someone catch me up with Lord Bung's past life? Haven't watched since around 3 to 4 months ago. Man, what hasn't happened? I became I ended up in some very traumatic places. I was very close to suicide. I was abused by my landlord, and then COVID hit, and then I ended up moving to my old hometown, getting my own house, well, with my brother. He's my housemate. Overdosed, killed my previous ego, and now I am living a life that is very, very much more raw and vibrant, and much more appreciative, I would say, of life than ever before. And then so, because I felt good about myself again, I'm now working on confinement again, much more consistently than I used to. Back when I was unhealthy, I was still working on it, but it was not very consistent. It was all over the place. Because I was in a very bad place. I am a misanthrope and also suffer of sexual anhedonia, so I have a hard time to understand strong feelings of affection towards another person in particular. Oh, yeah, no, that's, yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't know what that's like. Man. I mean, as long as you're living your best life, you don't have to fall into these social constructs of how we should be expected to find happiness. I think it's very dangerous and toxic to be pressuring people socially into feeling like you can only get happiness through another person, because that develops a very leech-like attitude, and people who aren't ready to be in relationships will jump into them. In fact, you know what? I'm going to talk about all of my relationships. It is going to be a fun time, fun little emotional time. I'm not going to cry, don't worry. It's never been that bad. I basically just want to lead up to how much I love my boyfriend now and how much better he is than, well, I don't want to be unfair because I was a different person at the time, so it's all completely relative to who you are and who your partner is. And if I was who I used to be, dating my boyfriend, I don't think it would have worked out. Is the point that I'm trying to make. But right now, I am in the most perfect relationship that I have ever been in. Because not only is he great, I am also in a much healthier place mentally. So I'm more mature and I'm able to handle thoughts that I previously were not able to handle very well. Can you kill your ego without taking drugs? If so, how? Well, the goal isn't to kill your ego. I know I talk about it a lot, but that's only because it happened to me, not because I think it's a thing that everybody should pursue, because you can very much end up in a psych ward because of that. And that's no fun. There are other ways. You can give birth, you can meditate a whole bunch, you can almost die, or psychedelics. Psychedelics is probably the safest one. Hey, Penjicitis, thank you. We're about to talk about relationships, I think. I'm in a dark place right now, but I need it that way for my projector to work well. I was getting sad reading the first part. You're like, oh, but I need to. Alright. You're being silly. What is your relationship you speak of? I've never heard of such a thing. It's stupid early for me, but deep bung conversations are worth it. Thank you. Bung, have you heard of Sparks? They're a musician duo. I think you'd like them. I recommend Kimono My House. That sounds interesting. Okay. So, my first relationship is when I was 16, I think. It was this anime nerd. Anime fan, derogatory. She was cool. But what I learned from that relationship was that I was so deeply insecure and felt incredibly inadequate. And that manifested in me just like panicking over every little thing and feeling like I need to be perfect with every little thing. And like one day into the relationship, they were like, nah. Because I sent them like walls of me trying to fix something that wasn't broken, essentially. And that set me off in this really weird spiral of not getting over it for the longest time. And it's in such stark contrast to who I am now that even though I feel sympathy for my younger self, I can't help but laugh, you know, because I feel like, because I used to be that person. And so there's this sort of hilarious feeling of like, I could just jump into that body and relive it and make it better. And, you know, we do that with revising our memories all the time. But it was, yeah, it took up a lot of my time. I was just not really mentally prepared for things like that at that age. I had a lot of like trauma that I just wasn't ready to deal with. But that was my first relationship, and they were cool, and we ended up becoming best friends for a while, and we still talk to each other to this day. It was pretty cool. And we're able to talk about it, which I think is a sign of a good friendship. Yeah, it was just like a thing where I had to realize that I was not ready for relationships, and I wasn't able to accept it at that time because I tried to get into so many. I was really just like trying to squeeze the happiness, the love out of people, I guess, you know? Like I was really, really desperate for it. I was so obsessed with the idea of being in a relationship. And so when I ended up in ew, anime fans. I was in a real bad mental state. Then one day I just jumped off a cliff, and now I value my life a whole lot more. Oh shit, did you end up hurting yourself really bad? Or did your mind just really intensely confront the idea that you were gonna die and sort of had a reset? Didn't mean heading through people. I didn't mean healing through people in a leeching way. For me, at least, talking just even just to myself about it has helped. That definitely, I definitely understand that. That works, or it can. Your openness about all this is pretty cool, to be honest. And thank you. I thought this was one of the things I was thinking about talking about on streams, because I haven't actually done this. I've been talking a lot about my ego death experience and all of the crazy implications and lessons that I learned from that. But this is another form of vulnerability that I just haven't quite explored yet. And I feel comfortable talking about it, so don't worry about me if any of you are. So my relationship after that, my second relationship, was in high school, and I was it was a long distance relationship, actually. It was with a guy. I'm not gonna be saying any of their names unless I accidentally do. But I'll try not to. Oh, sorry. Hey Bunny, you're recontaining the confinement series? No, I think you mean like continuing? Yeah, I am. I am still doing confinement, don't worry. Just want to say this. In a way, I'm jealous of people who are in touch with their emotions, and all the relationships I see with my friends and are all pretty abusive ones, so put me off them in a sense. No, that's definitely understandable if that's the environment you grew up in. My first partner was my stalker. That was fun for the first year, but eventually I realized she wasn't obsessed with me. She liked an idea of me and was annoyed by my real personality. Damn, that's some heavy shit. But like, look at all the valuable stuff you learned from it. As terrible as these can be. What was he saying? So yeah, it was a long distance relationship, and I ended up seeing him in real life, but I still was so incredibly unhealthy. I was like, I felt comfortable that I could talk to them over the computer, but when I was around them, I was so frozen with fear. I didn't say anything. And then I would get upset that I didn't say anything, and I would just try and sneak in things to do, like, oh, here's a hug. Okay, no more hug now. Like, sorry, my throat was tickling. So, yeah, I don't remember why we broke up, but probably something to do with that. But even then, I wasn't really in love, I don't think. Just like my other relationship, my previous one to that, I loved the idea of being in love. I loved the image of being in love. I wanted to be somebody who had, who had a boyfriend. Because at that time, I sort of came to accept my sexuality, and the idea of having a boyfriend I didn't really understand too well, or just having a partner in general. I wasn't in love, there was no love there, because I'm sure there was some remnants of love, but my motivation wasn't guided by love. I liked them for who they were. I wasn't trying to change them or control them, but I was trying to control my idea of myself in context to them, and that ultimately became the source of all of my stress and my insecurity that put strain on that relationship. Thank you, Olivia C. Shit, there was a lot of people been typing about. I'm sorry, Alish. I'm sorry to hear that. So the title I wanted to send you well wishes, get better soon, and stay trippy. Man. Wait, no, I already read that. Fuck. I am high. Everyone wants to be special in some way and not get absorbed by our surroundings, but one needs to find someone to be special for and make them special to you. I don't think it necessarily has to be one person. But yeah, I agree. I don't know if we need a specific kind of relationship, but any interaction with another human being, I think, has potential for a benefit for your mental health. What makes a friend great to be around is comfortability. If you're uncomfortable with somebody, around somebody, interacting is hard. Yeah, and I was definitely not comfortable for those first relationships. I was very, very, very stressed. But it was all completely projection. It was all self. Not to take responsibility away from my parents and all that, but most of it was continued by me, because I became addicted to the idea of me as somebody who people should feel sorry for. I saw this idea of being pitiful and being that you should feel sorry for this person, I saw that as like a completely reliable thing to view myself as. Oh, Lish. It's so goddamn sweet. I'm gonna give you a big fucking hug. You're swagalicious. You're base pilled and swag zoned. For opening up, I have this thing where out of nowhere I'll start to disassociate. I don't talk to anyone or text. This can happen for days, but I don't want to be like this at all. Blah. Oh shit. How does the disassociation manifest? If you don't mind telling me, I mean. Anyone find it trippy and cool that we live in an age we can vibe with people from around the globe? Yes. I am a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of how trippy it is, specifically. Come on. Right back at you. I'm so glad that I've contributed to anyone's healing, to be honest. What was I talking about? Yeah, right, relationships. So that one didn't really go anywhere healthy. Although, it probably helped and boost my confidence to some degree, but I can't really think of anything too much. But what happened next? After that, it was just like a handful of online relationships that didn't really last super long. And again, these relationships were not. It wasn't right, you know. I don't know. It just went right. They felt right for a little while, and then they felt not right. And some of them, there were like weird technical issues, you know, like very specific commitments that I just couldn't do, or like I remember one of these relationships, I just, man, I won't talk about them. I have a couple of sad regrets from those that I wish I could make up for. But that's neither here nor there. Yo, if you see this, what's up? What's up, Johnny Theron Damone? Theron Damone? I appreciate you reading my chats, but I enjoy hearing your input and your view on subjects and what people have to say. I enjoy talking about this stuff and being able to read what people should be saying. Disassociation for me is brain fog. It doesn't really have a feeling. It's like shutting down mentally. I still do it when yelled at. Oh man, I have varying degrees of disassociating. Sometimes it's very instant and small, and tends to happen during a freezy moment. Sometimes I can sort of dip into it a little bit if I'm really feeling it, and sometimes it's a pretty big one. Sometimes it's quite big and I can't get out of it for a while, and I just have to accept that this is it for a while. I'll take if I didn't have the internet growing up, I wouldn't be here today because I had no IRL friends except those that bullied me. Man. Like, yeah, of course, it makes total sense that, like, all of these cultures and subcultures get invented. Because if you create a society talk now, create a society that funnels a very specific kind of person, where do the rest go? You know, they have to manifest in their own way. They have every right. I'm saying they. I'm part of the internet people. We have every right to flourish and find our identities and socialize, even if it is radically distorted by it being a digital platform. Disassociative manifests as a sudden urge to just do nothing, feel nothing, usually sit at my piano, not even playing anything, thinking about nothing, playing random notes. It's a sad sight. Maybe... I don't know. Because I know people who very specifically are trying to reach that lifestyle. Maybe I think it's worth taking a look at why people might be trying to reach a state of nothingness. Maybe it might change your perspective a little bit. At least it might make it not as shitty when it happens again. You know, because you might be thinking, or at least you might have gotten yourself into the momentum of thinking that, and then during your space of disassociation, it might just hit, you know? Soul disassociation from the hours, last hours of days, depends, plus I actually socialize better with people I don't know, not people I know well, it's weird. Really? It's very interesting. Relationship problem sounds boring, just be lonely like the rest of us. It's actually the least boring thing that I could think of. It's very emotional. There's a lot that's involved in there. There's a lot at stake that is admittedly invented by our minds, but you know. Oh my god. So I'm noticing the fact you're blue for a while. I kind of just accepted it while watching. I love the stream, by the way. Thank you, Penjicitis. Really appreciate that. And I've been like aware of you for a very long time. Seeing you is kind of bringing me a weird nostalgia. You know? Hey, Taze, that's the way to go. Yeah, I made a few friends from my local little communities, little classes. Yeah, inventory, this will sound mad edge, but that thing I'm living with is myself. I'm never comfortable with myself, so I kind of daydream in front of a piano about a better me. It's like a Maury. I see. Yeah. You know what? Inventory? I don't know what you're saying. What do you mean by inventory? But I don't remember saying inventory. Did I say something that sounded like inventory? Anyway, what I mean is that yeah, okay, what you're describing, being with yourself, as edgy as it sounds, that you don't like, which you don't like, which, you know, it's not up to me to judge. If you don't like yourself right now, you just don't like yourself right now. But this feeling of always being uncomfortable, that feeling, that constant feeling that we try to get away from all day long, you're not alone in that. And I don't mean this to diminish your problem. I mean this to give you a sort of perspective that people find ways, a lot of people who are a lot more privileged than you, unfortunately, are able to escape the silence, you know, the sitting with yourself and just accepting yourself. A lot of people are able to afford to escape that silence and live a life of complete noise and avoidance. And if you were trying to be one of those people, then obviously you might feel like your life sucks, because if you live in a developed country, if you live in a developed English-speaking country, the general culture will be that you have to keep doing things, otherwise you're lazy, or you're broken, or you're not able to for some reason that makes you inferior. That is the general attitude, and that, I think, is a massive curse. I think that really sucks. You're like cosmic haired Lord Shiva. Well, I know Shiva definitely like to smoke weed. So what I would encourage doing is, in your normal waking state, just very slowly become more and more familiar with that stillness and spaciousness. That silence. Just a little bite-sized. It's gonna be uncomfortable at first, but you just let those emotions flow through you. You let those thoughts flow through you without clinging onto them or without trying to push them away. And you end up just becoming familiar with it, and soon it'll be a flavor that you begin to not hate so much. As long as you aren't thinking so strongly about it. Thoughts are gonna come up, of course, during meditation, but you don't have to take them seriously. You can forgive yourself for thinking. You can forgive yourself for resisting silence and stillness, because we were raised not to live that way. Until the government give me my designated catboy or goth girlfriend, I refuse to accept the existence of relationships. Feeling is believing. So hand him over, government. Meditation helps me deal with being more comfy with silence and nothingness. I would get anxious sometimes if I'm not doing something all the time. Haha. Yeah. And I still do. Oh no, am I out of funny benzidamine? Okay, find people to vibe with. Thanks, Lord Bong. Thank you, John Taylor. Appreciate that. Agree with your view on first world thought country's thought process. I'm pressured by everyone in my family to do every little thing, so it often wears me out by midday. Hence the disassociation, I think. Yeah, it sounds like you've been suppressing. Not you, I mean, you've been taught to suppress. You've been raised to suppress this part of you that you can call silence, stillness, spaciousness. And it just becomes a habit. It becomes an addiction. I've totally been there. I take that same fucking cough medicine. Well, it just died on me, so... Shit. Anyway, I was talking about relationships. Actually, I still do too. Try to focus on the present moment nowadays. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I've reached the point where I realize that meditation is a good practice, but being able to live in the present moment throughout the whole day, no matter what you're doing, no matter how distracted or stressed out you are, you can totally do that. And it's a lot harder, but it's better to do it that way, because there's a type of meditator that Buddhists call a stone Buddha, which is somebody who just meditates and doesn't do anything all day. And sure, they're happy and they're reaching nirvana, but they're not doing anything. They're just sitting there. And then there's the living Buddha, or the walking Buddha, who lives their daily life, but is still present completely in the moment. Hey, no worries, Sujungsu. Benzodiazepine, no. No benzos here. Hey, that's some good wisdom. Thanks, Space Shiva, dude. Hey, thank you, Door Handle. Thanks for the $9.99. Listening to the stream while playing the piano, by the way. The mood set by this sort of stuff and the answers I've gotten inspired me to make a small melody, so thanks for that. Oh, that was one of the most goddamn beautiful things I've heard in a while. Wow. I don't know. Maybe I'm just romanticizing it in my head way too much, but that was like, that sounds like a vibe, not an alien. Isn't Shiva the goddess of slaughter? Something I want to explain. Shiva's a god. He is one of the three main ones in the pantheon. But it's important to note that Hindus don't literally believe in the gods in the same way that Westerners literally believe in our gods. Shiva is metaphorical for the three gods represent creation, manifestation, and destruction, which just represents everything in the universe, you know? The universe is made up of this thing that we don't really know, but it exists in such a way and it fluctuates in such a way that things themselves are created. So a chair is a chair once we've decided that it's a chair, after we've cut it into a chair from wood, and then we're like, okay, it's a chair now, and then it breaks or it burns or whatever, and it just becomes firewood, and it goes back into the universe as the energy that it always has been, and it's no longer a chair. So that's an example of creation, manifestation, and destruction. And so Shiva, you can use it for all sorts of things. You can use it for life, you know, birth, living, death. You can use it for the life of plants or animals, or when is a boulder a boulder? How many, you know, hundreds of thousands of years do I have to wait for it to be chiseled down into pebbles? The lifespan of a planet, how long does that go for? Way longer than us. It feels like it lasts forever, but everything in the universe is created, manifests, and gets destroyed. Is destroyed. And Shiva represents that, and so he's actually pictured as a kind of anti-hero type character. He's a bit all of the other gods are dressed in gold and royal garbs, and he's just wearing like a tiger skin, and he's just vibing around. He's literally smokes weed all the time, and he also represents the destructions of thought, because you have to have your world destroyed if you want to evolve and become a better person. Are your eyes orange? In this filter, yeah. I won't lie, you're one of the most interesting YouTubers I've come across, and I love your art style in general. Thank you for making my day. That's really sweet of you to say, Bread Boy. 420 likes, lol. That better be true. Christ Bung, you good? Yeah, I'm very good. Well, I'm sick, but other than that, I'm quite good. I believe in clapping them cheeks. Praise the god of thunderclap. I believe in gods. I believe in many of them. I do too. It's a case of where I have to sort of acknowledge all of my beliefs, and all truth is paradox. So really, you can believe in whatever it is that you believe in, even if it doesn't make sense to you at first. You know, it doesn't really matter how anal you are about your whatever set of rules you've decided to give yourself for living, because you're gonna end up acting upon your senses regardless. You might just rationalize it, be like, well, I chose this because of all these rational reasons, but if your senses are telling you to follow a path, you end up following it. Any instruments you can play, and specific songs you can play or sing? Not really. I tried getting into this kind of digital keyboard thingy, but I kind of gave up on that. I don't think I'm super interested in it because I gave up pretty easily. It's not a boulder, it's a rock. A rock. Pioneers would ride these babies for days. My boyfriend's up. So anyway, I was talking about relationships earlier, and I talked about the first few of my pretty significant ones. Everything from that point became a bit of like an internet thing, and then when I moved to Sydney, obviously I'm not gonna say his name, but I met a guy, and at this point, I was still quite depressed and very self-destructive. In fact, I think I was getting worse. And then I met a guy who was also very depressed and self-destructive. But we didn't love each other. We were... I think we just thought we looked cute, and we did. It was cute as fuck. Like, looking back on it, it was like this dorky, short astrophysics college student holding hands with this dorky, fluffy ass art student, and it was kind of like Sam and Diane, except both depressed. You know. Oh my god. But we did not love each other. There was not a lot of my mind was taken up by them. I just really liked the idea, and I think he also really liked the idea of us being together. And it's incredible how long that can last. Just the two people pretending that this should work out, because by God we need it to work out, because we are depressed as fuck. And I didn't know how to talk to him when he was upset. He didn't know how to talk to me when I was upset. None of it. It was just like we were begrudgingly performing. Except for when it was exciting. Then it was exciting. And it was cute. When it was sexy. When it was all sorts of things. But no. Unrelated, by the way, but I love the art on the right a lot. I've been staring at it. Thank you. Yeah, that's a piece that I made a few months ago. Oh shit, you can kind of see my Discord. Why is Discord doing that? Relationships can be weird to think about and realize in retrospect. Yeah, absolutely. Oh jeez, why do you have so many pings? Embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. What was I saying? So, when I realized I didn't love that guy anymore, I was actually... Relationships are weird, but I love you a lot, Dingus. Thank you, Orion. But when I realized I didn't love that guy anymore, I remember I was so caught up in the anxiety of my landlord abusing us, and my housemate who had to go to the hospital, and COVID hitting so that half of the people living in my house couldn't pay rent. I had to cover most of it. During all that, I was thinking, fuck, I need to move. And I started planning to move. And I was telling this to my therapist, and she was like, but what about your boyfriend? And I was like, oh my god, I do not love this man. So, yeah, that happened. And I had to really, really let that sink in. It was really upsetting. But it was really important. You know, I had to know that. And then I told him, and then he said what I was expecting, which was like, yeah, I basically feel the same way. Like, yeah, okay, alright. This was a fun game, but whatever. And then I met Orion. And I know I love Orion. Because I'm not like... I look at all my old relationships, and I was trying to get something out of it. Like, something... It wasn't like in a malicious kind of like vampiric way. It was more like... I was really trying hard to be happy. And that wasn't really love. It was just like, I'm just trying to be happy. Which, you know, you can't blame anyone for. But, it wasn't love, you know? It's not what love is about. Well, we've known each other for literally 5 years. We got together recently, dingus. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did word it funny. I've known Orion for a very long time. And basically the whole time just awkwardly flirting until finally getting together 5 years later. Oh, something like that. Basically. Yeah. Yo, time to get high with the boys. I don't know. I just really like Orion. And now I feel like I can trust other people. I can trust myself. You know? So when Orion's not around, I'm just like, he's doing his own thing. His thoughts are none of my business. You know, it's all that jazz. Just trust that the thoughts that run through your head throughout the day are just thoughts and are not an accurate assessment of his character or his intentions. And that I'm not actually in the thought in the back of my head that I used to have. It's like, oh, nobody actually loves you, you know. That one isn't there anymore. Time to talk with the boys. Congratulations, I hope it doesn't end horribly. Thank you, I appreciate it. My intentions are kissy beans, bitch. Oh, thank y'all. Very sweet. But like, I could tell I'm in love because on my like to-do list, it's just, I want to do things that make him happy. I don't really want him to do things in return. I don't want to make up some weird barter system of like, I did this for you, you do this for me now. That's conditional love, and I think that's bullshit. And obviously there are gonna be some conditions, like very broad ones, you know, if you zoom in, but like, don't murder. I don't know. I think Orion would murder, but I don't know. It's like I want to be involved in your life, and I want to make it better. I don't have to overthink that. I don't even need a reason to be in love with anyone. You know? It's just love. You just want to be around someone. It helps to maybe know your intentions, but you know, if I have other intentions, that might be stinky. My intentions are give hug, give kiss, do doodles, draw some little doodly doos, and vibe out. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of murder. I love my girlfriend, I can relate, I want to be with her, and I want her to be happy. Yeah. I don't know if you love me unless you don't break up with me over vehicular manslaughter. My god. I love this man. You know, maybe this is why I wanted to stream. It's just so I could talk about her. Talk about my boyfriend. My god, my goodness. Finding the perfect symbiosis has to be complicated. It is if you want to see it that way. A lot of a relationship, a lot of a healthy relationship involves, you know, trust and just taking that risk, you know? Like, if I wanted my life to be, I don't know, safe of potential strong emotions, then I wouldn't have gone into a relationship. But I didn't start dating. I didn't start dating him because I thought it would make life easier to control. It's a bad intention to go into in a relationship. I went into it because of the chaos. Because, like, I'm willing to go through all of the really fucked up emotions that occur in a relationship because it's with him. It's with Orion. And I don't know. I know it sounds like I'm just trying to brag about how much I love Orion, which I am. But I'm trying to make a point about a relationship that somebody was talking about. That, yeah, it's complicated, but only if you're trying to analyze it the whole time. You don't have to do that. You can just jump in. So there's this guy who doesn't know I exist. There's this fictional character. Okay, so there's this worm that shows up in my yard after it rains. Thank you, Wizard Pirate. Yeah, I'm gonna be ending stream soon so I could call with my boyfriend. But, if any of you have any questions, like any sincere questions, maybe preferably theme related around the theme of what I was just talking about, you know? Bum gushing about how much he loves his boyfriend and said his boyfriend is murdering people in chat. It's just the way I like it. Hey Danny, why are you such a gay ass? Yeah. Man, I wish this chair wasn't so fucking loud. Got any advice on how to deal with getting permanently friend-zoned by your dream girl? Well, I would say adjust the wording first, just to help your mental state. You didn't get friend-zoned. Somebody just did not accept a romantic relationship with you. And that's totally normal and completely in their right. I think saying dream girl might be very exclusive, might be putting them on a pedestal, and probably is hurting you a lot more than it needs to. You were romantically rejected by a girl who is not any more special than any other girl on the planet. All girls are queens. And really, what was your question? Any advice on how to deal with it? Okay, well, yeah, those first few things I think will help. But I don't know. I don't know how old are you. You might actually just be like a really young teenager, and this is actually a really big thing for you because in context of the entire spectrum of your life, this might be the most significant thing that's happened to you so far, and I can't invalidate those feelings for you. Post memes in our trans chat, hell yeah. It's gonna be a dumbass question, but how do you tell if somebody is into you? or if you're actually into them, without just asking them, hey, are you into me? Obviously. How could you tell if somebody's into you or if you're actually into them? That's interesting. I don't know. That's really, really up to you. There are no universal rules for knowing when somebody likes you. There might be some common things that a lot of people do because they learned them from movies and through observing other people. But I don't know. The way I figure it out now is like, how much do you want to make this person happy? You know, if you really want to make this person happy, then I would say that that's the most illogical thing, which means that it must be love. So you're not trying to get anything out of it, you just want them to be happy. Orion does make a very good point. We are literally the worst ones to ask because it took quite a few years for us to realize that we liked each other. Alright, you got our asses. Yeah, no, I have no fucking idea. It'll come to you. If you're looking for it, you'll find out. Yeah, what, What do you just retract your own message, Orion? What are you doing? I'm being gaslit by my boyfriend. Quite a few 4 years, Danny. You're not wrong. You're not goddamn wrong. Haha, I love how love is the most illogical thing. Yeah, that's why we love it so much. Logic is useful, but it creates burdens. Because if we decide that something is a problem, then we put the problem onto ourselves. That's just the trade, the fun little game of trade that logic is. Logic, rationality, categorization, analysis, thinking of any kind. So we want to step out of that sometimes, and sometimes we feel like we can only get it in another person. But I love Orion, and of course I love the feeling that occurs from it, but I acknowledge that I'm not getting anything from him. The feeling of love is something anyone can experience, you know? And it's beautiful, it's amazing. And I feel that way very strongly when Orion is around. But I'm not doing it for the high of it. I like the high, but I'm not doing it for the high. I'm doing it because I love him. I want him to be happy. I want to be able to support him. I want to be able to learn, you know, just like really intimately learning about somebody other than me, not getting caught up in my own head all the time, you know? Just want to see how it goes. It's like a movie. I just want to see how it ends, you know? I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. Feel better, Bung. Thank you. Thank you, Forlorn Foundry. Message retracted in fit format. Rip, Orion. Danny is doing it for the huggy kissy beams and the F-slur tree. The F-slur tree. I am. I'm doing it for the F-slur spirit. Bullying in chat. The feeling of love is something anyone can experience. Press X for doubt. I think a lot of people are sort of hardened by trauma and are unable to feel love at such a level. But when I started getting healthy myself and confronting a lot of my trauma, and I began to realize that I actually do love myself, I realized that, okay, well now I can love another person. Now I can enter a relationship properly, you know? And obviously I didn't know that beforehand, that I was not good to do relationships, because how could I know that? But after I started getting healthy, since the big ego death, since the spiritual blah blah blah, I got healthy. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm ready to share my life with someone. Love doesn't have to be romantic. I love my homestucks. Basically, I don't want to ruin the friendship we have. Same thing happened to one of my mates. He asked her out and it broke the friendship they had. I don't want the same outcome, you know? I don't know. No, that's totally understandable. It is a fear, and it is a fear based on experience, so it's going to feel very real. But it is not true. You cannot prove that that's going to happen, you know? And obviously a part of you doesn't want to prove that. But I don't know, think about, would the regret of not doing it suck even more than if you actually just went and did it? I don't know. Coffee, more like poo. That's incredible. Incredible paper planes. I'm being gatekeep, gaslight, girl boss, and you're laughing? What have I done? What did I do? This is bullshit. Okay, I'm gonna end stream now because it's 11:30, and I'm gonna go call with the boyfriend and go to sleep. So, everybody, you and your silly little comments, very wonderful and lovely people. You have given me much to think about, much to read. Very disappointed that nobody has complimented me on my eyeliner, but that is fine. You know what? It's okay. I've learned to accept that over the course of the stream, and that was the real reason that I was streaming in the first place. So, what am I doing? I'm ending stream, yes. Oh, we can't see it? Yeah, that makes sense, actually. This is the worst camera on the planet. Oh yeah, you did, Lish. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I do remember now. Silly me. You fucking liar. I'm sorry. Yeah, I am pretty small on screen, actually. That makes sense. Yeah, you know what? My mistake. My mistake. I'm big enough to accept that. But it's been real, it's been fun, and it's been cool. So have a lovely night, have a lovely day, have a lovely afternoon or evening. You deserve it, all of you, every single one. I'm gonna send out a vibe of not dying from disease, no particular reason. That's right. I cured everything. Good night, everybody. I am gonna go. Thank you for joining me. It's been fun and it's been cool. Hare Krishna, and have a lovely